In this lesson, we're going to talk about probably one of the most important things to our vaginal health, self-care. I know that's something that we've been hearing a lot about, but it is really important to our vaginal health. And you may be wondering why, or maybe you figured it out by now. But basically, we've been talking a lot about our mental health and our physical health and how that's all connected to our vaginal health. And self-care is something that can help us to de-stress. And we've talked about how stress is a big culprit to messing with our hormones and putting them off balance, and therefore making our vaginal health go off track. So self-care is super important. And I know ladies, I know what you're thinking. We've heard it a million times that we need to do this. And as a woman, I totally understand, and especially as a mom, that we tend to put everybody else first before us. By the end of the day, we've forgotten about ourselves, and next thing you know, we have done like zero self-care in, I don't know, months sometimes years, it seems like. But this is vital to do. And I understand how it is. I'm like the queen of not doing self-care and doing everything for everybody else first. But bottom line, ladies, when the plane is going down, you've got to put the oxygen mask on first. If you don't, everybody's going down. So super important to get that self-care in. And a really big tip that I have, because I, again, am horrible at getting my self-care in, is to get some support. And some ideas for support would be to either get online or join locally some different groups of people that share common interests and common things that you can do that could be considered self-care. Some ideas would be just going shopping by yourself. If you're a mom like me, oh man, sometimes self-care is literally just being able to shop without being asked a million times when we're leaving. Or just going to the bathroom or taking a shower. Some new moms know exactly what I'm talking about. And self-care comes in many different forms. Sometimes it's taking a bubble bath, or it's getting your nails done, or getting your hair done. Sometimes it's a massage. Sometimes it's going away on a cruise. Sometimes it's reading a book, gardening, or taking a walk, or anything like that. So there's many different forms of self-care. Okay, so I have some homework for you. What I want you to do is, as soon as you're done with this lesson, I want you to pull out a piece of paper or a notepad and write down just one thing that you love to do or would love to do, maybe you haven't ever done it before, for self-care. Just one thing. Start small. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't sabotage yourself. Just do one thing. And then I want you to pull out your calendar, and within the next 2 weeks, I want you to schedule that self-care in for yourself and make sure that you do it. And if you need, again, get yourself a little self-care buddy or somebody online, some sort of support that you can get to have somebody help keep you accountable. And on that note, sometimes you need a little bit of support, like especially if you have little ones or a brand new baby, and you need somebody to help you watch that baby so that you can do this form of self-care. Sometimes you'll need to get support in the form of babysitting, somebody watching that baby. And if you're in a position like I have been before, where you can't find that support or somebody to watch your child, and you want to do some sort of self-care that doesn't involve having that baby, sometimes you just have to start really small and think about some sort of self-care that you can do with that baby. So for example, once baby goes down for a nap, you do something that's small. I've even heard of ladies that have had brand new babies or, toddlers, and they're driving around and they get their kid to sleep. And if they, try to go anywhere or do anything, that child's going to wake up. So they pull off to the side of the road and they just pull out their book on their electronic device or a book that they have with them, and they just read. And that's their form of self-care. Some women have said that they take a nap with their child, or, they take a walk or whatever else. Just something small that you can do for that self-care. Thank you, ladies, for joining me for this series of A Happy Vagina Makes a Happy Life. I hope that you found this helpful. Any sort of questions that you may have, please feel free to ask, and I would love if you would share what your self-care is. So please feel free to share that with me or leave a comment and let us know what type of self-care you love, or if you have any tips or advice for other women that may be watching as well. And we'll see you in a different lesson.